there. It's sort of early in the morning. It's before 9 a.m. and I'm going for a walk. I have a bit of an update for you, quite the update. So stick around. I was talking about my GI tract, my medication, my mental health, different bits and pieces. So yeah, all of which are still ongoing. But there has been a definite diagnosis, and it has nothing to do with either of those. But I will get to that in a bit. Regarding my GI situation, I have my appointment coming up in a few days, so I'm looking forward to that. And thankfully, you know, nowadays we live in a situation where sometimes you have to wait ages for appointments. There's some appointments that I have to wait ages for, but I think I'm blessed because I'm getting to be attended to certain things sooner rather than later. So, right, I will give you an update on my GI tract situation, and I will tell you about my mental health in a minute. Let's keep walking. So I'm taking a little break. Regarding my mental health and my medication, thankfully it is working. It is actually what I think my body was waiting on. For sure, a doctor, my family doctor from a long time ago, said that I should have been on this medication ever since, which he's right. Definitely was reminded of the fact that he was trying to get me to start me on the medication because I'm not well. I'm not well in the sense of holding in a lot of things. I've been through a lot in my life regarding mental health. I'm not even talking now about trauma or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about my mental health. And being able to hide that was one of my qualities because I didn't want to seem weak. I always thought I had to be taking care of everyone else. And yeah, that's how that went. But I remember the times of screaming, ideations back then, yeah, all sorts of things, which hadn't really left. I just learned to internalize them more. So to be quite honest, seeing me smile and help others and things like that, other folks who would be relatively close to me would think that, but she was always fine, or she was kind of fine, but she doesn't need this and things. And that in itself is a trigger for me because it took decades for me to get to the point where I realized I need stronger help. After trying diving into things and doing things and therapy and diet and all sorts of other things. So I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm glad that I am on my sertraline and diazepam. I'm thankful that regarding the diazepam, I don't just run to it, because to be quite honest, and I will get into that in a minute, this definitely would have been the time for it. But yeah, I think folks need to realize give the person that's going through their situation the benefit of the doubt, especially if they're adults. They know what's best for them. You can give all the advice in the world, but they have to come to a point where they make the right decisions for them. Also, in trying to give unsolicited advice, you trigger people. And it's not that you shouldn't give advice or you shouldn't be caring, and most of the time this is coming from a good place, that I know. But folks don't think that they're coming from their own perspective. We don't think that. None of us do. We're seeing things from our perspective. We want to help, so therefore we give the guidance according to what we feel, when in fact that may not be accurate. And I've had my dose of that in a variety of different ways. It's funny because I have finally come to the point where it's okay for me to be going through what I'm going through right now. Okay. It's frustrating, but it's okay. I need the treatment that I have right now and that I will be getting. Definitely do. So if there's any advice that you can take from that, is if you're a person that hasn't been through these things, or you have been through them and something worked for you, please be mindful of the fact that just because things have worked for you, or you know of some things, or you have a different perspective on treatment and therapy and things, doesn't mean that you should put that on other people. Because you may end up triggering the person. Remember how you felt when you went through a time where folks were trying to control you? Yeah, it's not the best thing. So if it's anything that you can take from this, it's that. Don't know if you can see, probably you can see the lake out there. This is a spot that I come to quite often. If I don't sit here, which I normally don't, I sit way on the other side. But though it's beautiful and it's pretty and all the other things, it's a bit of a two-edged sword for me. I, from time to time, have issues where I can see myself going that way. I'm just going to make it as without mentioning anything. But yeah, that's why I said it's a two-edged sword. Thankfully, my medication is putting me in the mental space where I want to go outside and walk. But it hasn't quite hit that point where I don't want to do that. Like just walk directly that way. But thankfully, I have a lot of support. I do have a lot of support. I'm just scared. It's scared to get the help you need. It is scared to say something and be real to yourself with what you are going through and what isn't working and all that. It's scary. It's scary. And what I had found myself doing a lot of is taking on other people's things, saying they're right, which they may be for them, and feeling more so than ever as time went on that I was just wrong about everything, which put me in a spiral, which put me back in the same situation again. You see what I mean? See what's going on there? Not really truly taking care of myself and things, but taking on other people's things. Find what works for you and get the support that you need, not want, or that, you know what I mean? Just get the support that you really do need and keep at it, especially at the times when you don't feel like it. So I did mention that I recently got a diagnosis that actually has nothing to do with the other stuff that I've been talking about in recent times. For quite some time, I've been getting weird GFR readings regarding my kidneys. At first, when I first heard this years ago, I freaked out, tried to do all manner of things to counteract that, to no avail, because I still got lower than normal readings, hovering around 40 something and 50 something, not going any further than 60 for sure, if I ever got up there. So in more recent times, I got the diagnosis that I actually have chronic kidney disease, stage 3, and will be monitored. I will give more updates about that as time goes on. Needless to say, it's something that I'm glad finally I have a diagnosis for it, but it doesn't make the actual thing any easier. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So that's it from a sweaty me on a really hot morning. Do comment, like, and share, and do all the things that you know that you can do to help destigmatize and naturalize the conversation around mental health and all its therapies, etc. I'll see you in the next video. All right? I'm gonna finish my